Salute to all the real ones out there. It's your boy Mike coming at you again with another video. Yo, y'all like the content I've been dropping, the direction of my channel was headed in. I need you to like, comment, subscribe, and share my videos with anybody else you think may benefit from them, alright? Now, been a good minute since the last video upload. A lot has transpired. And this has been a time phase in my life where, of course, I turned 40 not too long ago. Went back to the United States to see my sister actually graduate from a prestigious university. Spent time with loved ones, family, friends, and also went my first time on a cruise through the Bahamas. So a lot has been going on my side of the world. But I've been thinking heavily about the next topic that I wanted to present, which would be reinvent yourself via mental alchemy. Okay, so we're going to jump straight into it. I hope that everybody is doing well in this time of rapid transformation. So let's get started. Alchemy. All right, there's two definitions that I was able to pull. The first one is the medieval forerunner of chemistry, based on the supposed transformation of matter, primarily concerned with attempts to convert base metals into gold. All right. The second definition is a seemingly magical process of transformation, creation, or combination. And when I talk about mental alchemy, I'm leaning more towards the second definition. Okay. So the main thing is you have to change your mind in order to change your reality. And the law of mentalism states that everything starts in the mind first. So, of course, I have anecdotal as well as just personal and even, let's say, text confirmation from reading great books and just using my own intuition, looking around at the world, seeing friends, family, people that I've come across who have achieved things in their life. Be honest with yourself. Every single time you have something in your mind's eye that no one else can see, right? We'll make an easy point. Having your own apartment, even though you live at home. It started off as a kernel in your mind that was constantly twisting your thought strings. You started to wonder, how would I style my place? How much would it cost? How would I, let's say, make this move happen from being with my parents to actually living on my own? Maybe you even have fears, doubts, worries, what have you. But the wheels are turning mentally about making this move. And then let's say 6 months later, you've already made the reality. You already are in your new place. What was the catalyst for you to have gone through the actions? It all starts in the mind first. So you would still live with your parents if you didn't make the mental jump to already be living in your own, on your own, independently of your parents. And that's exactly what I mean. Like, the law of mentalism comes from the Kabbalion, where basically everything that you see in physical reality started off first as an image or concept in someone's mind. So you can reinvent yourself by having an understanding of this mental alchemy. Whatever you want, it needs to come in the mind first. So what do you want? That's a question that I ask myself very often. As I told y'all on a previous other upload, that's something that I've done in the past, is writing out all of the things that I want from life. And I didn't stop until I literally drew blanks in my brain. And when I look back at that list, revisit it, let's say years later, there are so many things that I was able to check off. And it's all because it was in my subconscious mind, and I brought it out into conscious mind by actually writing it down and tracking it years later. Where are you going? Think back to my video, rudderless ships. If you don't know where you're going, you're literally similar to like driftwood just floating on the ocean. You have no real destination or aim. So life is going to take you anywhere it deems that you would serve a purpose, or maybe even not. Similar to the ocean, it won't maybe drift you to a port. It will capsize you and drift you to some deserted island that nobody knows about. And it's all because you didn't have a direction and you weren't steering the ship. When will you take action? That's another thing. Some of us, we conceptualize so much. We suffer from analysis paralysis, thinking over and over and over about the perfect time to launch this business idea. When all of my bills are paid, I'm going to jump into this. Oh, when I retire, I'm going to go on vacation and go see, let's say, the country that's always been in the back of my mind. Ask yourself, why are you afraid? That's a typical thing that all of us will experience. I know I'm going through that right now because every single time I make a transition in my life, there are periods where I realize that the purpose has been served for the move that I just made. And now I'm over here feeling fear about the next part of my journey. Life is similar to a book, and when one chapter closes, it's kind of normal to be, let's say, worried or feel anxious about the next chapter. And who are you affiliated with? This is a big thing too, because if you want to reinvent yourself and you're around people who support that idea, you'll have an accelerated process. But if you want to do what I just mentioned and you're around people who are holding on to a, let's say, less evolved version of you, and they remind you constantly of your failures or the past, how will you ever become the best version of yourself? These people will stagnate your growth. So my thing is, countless people actually die before their body goes through the decomposition process. And what I mean by that is, life is for the living. Life is for the living. The people who have gusto in their chest and a fire in their heart to actually go after what it is that they desire. Life will tend to bless those type of people by presenting them with opportunities that are in alignment with what they desire. The other people who are basically alive, but they're not really living. This equates to people who wake up, go to work, come home, eat food, pay bills, do their taxes at the end of the year, rinse and repeat. There's nothing really that they're looking forward to. There's nothing that excites them to chase their potential or go after things that have been in the back of their mind for the longest time. They don't start the business that they know would probably go and also fulfill their purpose. They won't travel to that destination. They put it off and think, maybe when I retire, when this and this happens. But it's all contingent on those things happening. And if they never happen, then the person never goes to travel, right? They're worried about the opinions of others. This is a big thing that I think affects all humans. And notice how we always admire the person who can dance like they're in the shower when they go to the club, and they don't care about the social anxiety. They don't care about the person pulling out their phone to make fun of their little two-step. They're having such a great time. And have you ever noticed, you look at those people who don't fear about what other people think. Women love them. They're called bad boys. Are they really bad boys, or are they people who just make up their own opinion about what it is and they don't conform to what everyone else thinks that they should do, or whatever everyone else thinks they should be? We love people who are free in their spirit to, let's say, dance in the middle of the club even though no one's hit the dance floor yet. What happens after that person gets out there and gets a little flow going? The next person goes, the next person goes. Next thing you know, the whole dance floor is packed, and it all came from the person who didn't give a fuck what everyone else thought. When you're the person, like in my family, who maybe moves far away, you're the first one who does it. You set a precedent for all the other people who might have fears, doubts, worries, what have you, hold-ups or hang-ups. They see you now do it, so they might not follow suit, but maybe in another way they feel confident because you guys all come from the same stock, and you see somebody in your family doing it big or moving out of the country or trying something way different than the average person. It's going to make you feel more confident about anything else you want to do to follow your own path, right? You got people who are scared to take a risk. That's a big one too. Oh, I want financial wealth. Oh, do you invest? Nah. Investing is risky. How if the three tried and true methods to making long-term wealth are business, investing, and real estate, and you don't do either one of those because you're afraid to take the risk, I don't see you being financially well off. I mean, that's just my opinion, right? they fail to conquer their fear. And don't forget, fear is false evidence appearing real. A lot of times it's just a figment of your imagination. I'll be real with you. Like, even this morning, I literally had thoughts of fear about my next venture, my next, let's say, maybe leap into entrepreneurial pursuits. I'm over here looking at all the stuff that I want to accomplish because I expect a lot from life, right? And there are times where I literally sit back and start to feel doubt about whether I deserve it, whether I'm competent enough to make it happen. I worry about if I fail. So don't feel like I'm a guru or I'm trying to preach to you. All of this stuff that I here have written down also applies to me. We're all humans going through the same thing, and we have reasons to have doubts and fears, but you have to somehow conquer it in order to move forward. And then most people, honestly, I see with all the points that I just named, they're just going to live a banal existence. You know, and that's why I made that video back in the 2023 talking about consciousness subdues banality. If you expand your consciousness first, it's literally inevitable that you will go away from living a banal existence. Because the thoughts in your brain are what eventually get the law of action on your side. You change your mind, then you begin to change habits through action. You change the action, next thing you know, it reinforces what you originally had as just a thought in your mind because you're starting to see results. So next thing you know, you get momentum, you're building up all this velocity towards what you want. And like years later, you can look back at where you were, and it all came from that change in your mind first, right? So my solutions for, let's say, reinventing yourself, because of course this applies to me too. I'm doing the same thing as I tell you guys. That's why I'm able to come up with this list, is because I'm seeing it in real time, and it motivates me to actually spread the message for anyone who might be listening. Decide what you want from life and who you want to be. Okay? And understand that there's gonna come with a sacrifice. There's no way for you to do either if you don't make a sacrifice. I can't decide right now, hey, I want to be rich, but not pick up a book about investing. Not ever like take a risk to start my business and get some more income. Not do anything on my job to separate myself from the other people so that I make more money. Like, how are you going to do that? You have to make your mind change, but then you have to follow up with the action. Everything that's worthwhile takes some type of sacrifice. And then you need to invite change on all levels, because in this case, change is good. Okay? You decide what you want. You need to be willing to change maybe your appearance, your fashion, the location of where you live, your job and or career, your social circle, as I was saying above, about the people that you're in close interaction with. If they don't support you changing, it might ruffle the feathers of something that they have internal, because they know if you change and start improving and, let's say, leveling up, it puts pressure on them indirectly to do the same, or to know that they're going to maybe lose the connection with you, right? Also, you need to change your thoughts, your habits, and your beliefs. Invite change on all levels if you want to reinvent yourself through mental alchemy. It's real talk. And lastly, man, like a big point that everybody probably knows, but I'm going to say it. The universe is wildly abundant. It's been said that the whole entire the whole entire world population can fit inside the United States and Texas. Literally, the whole world can fit inside Texas and have also still plenty of room per household. So what does that tell you? That tells you we are on a huge, like, you can't even fathom how big our planet is. There's no reason for you to think ever in terms of scarcity, right? But you have to help the universe help you. You know, have you ever noticed that, like, the dude who's actually lucky isn't really lucky? There's a saying that luck is basically when opportunity meets someone who's prepared. You know, Luck seems to come to those people who have the right mindset, who are taking steps and already have internalized the belief that they deserve what they're going for, or that they have it already. That's an even more powerful way of going about things you want in life, right? It's to believe you already have it and act as if. Have you ever heard fake it till you make it? Like, I'm not really a big proponent of that, you know what I mean? Because I feel like people take it and run with it, and it becomes something that's watered down as a concept, you know what I mean? You over here flexing on Instagram trying to act like something you're not. Like, that's not what I mean. I mean more like you want to be a business owner, you need to act, dress, talk, order books, like, and do things that are similar to what a business owner does if you actually want to become that before you actually become that, if you get what I mean. So my thing is, you reinvent yourself through mental alchemy, and you attract everything that you desire to you. I want a fine ass female to be my wife. Okay, well, you need to be a sexy husband that the fine wife in your head will be attracted to and want to be with over a long period of time. Oh man, I want to be successful at my job. Okay, well, you need to maybe go the extra mile than what the average employee does. Look what they do, and then separate yourself by making different actions that don't align with what they do and act like. You become what you think about, like James Allen said in his book, As a Man Thinketh. You know, you literally become what your brain is concerned or thinking about the majority of the time. So if you want riches, you need to think riches. If you want health, you need to embody and become a healthy person. You know, simple stuff. That's all I got for y'all. So reinvent yourself through mental alchemy. I'll holler at you on the next one.